So if you're struggling to write content, blog articles, videos, website pages, landing pages, emails, or hire someone to write content for you, then hang around for just a second, because I'm going to kind of maybe help with something that's really fundamental. I've been talking content with people for like several days now, and I've been challenged by some very good friends to start doing more with video, and this is how my brain works, so bear with me here. If you're struggling to do more video yourself, go with it. We're just going to have to feel the fear, do it anyway a little bit, as Katie Gall says. And no makeup, glasses and all, and we're just going to do this because this is what my brain will let me do right now. So, alright, so when we talk about content, right, we're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about creating content in the form of video, like what I'm doing right now. We're talking about content in the form of blog articles that we put on our website. We're talking about content in the form of like podcast, right? That looks like an ice cream cone. That's so terrible. Anyway, we're talking about content in the form of emails that we're going to send to people. We're talking about content that we put out on social media, all of these different things. All of that is content. And the biggest reason that we struggle to write content that feels right, or to write content, or to hire someone to write content for us, is because the biggest thing, and you'll hear this said by marketers all the time, and I think we say it, but we don't really know what it means. When we produce content, we are entering a story that is already happening. Okay? And this is something that it's like, oh, that sounds cool, that sounds catchy, it's a meme, it's a quote, it's something we regurgitate a lot, but then what does that mean when we're talking about actually sitting down and I'm trying to craft an email, or I'm trying to, build a page on my website or whatever, or I'm trying to write a social post? What does it mean that I am entering a conversation that's already happening? What that means is over here somewhere is the person that you can help. And right now that person is not really super happy. Right? Something is going on in their life. They either have like this big kind of goal, right, that they want to achieve, this big like 5-star goal that they want to achieve, and they're like, how? Or they have this like really big mess of a problem. I don't know why this is how we represent a problem, but that chaos scribble in my mind is what's going on. Or we're like, crap, what do I do? Right? And like that's what's going on in their head. What do I do? And so like they're over here having this whole conversation, and meanwhile we're over here going like, hi, I can do that all day long if you just pay me money. Or, hey, by the way, I will just give you some of my thought awesomeness over here for like no money. Like, you can just have it for free. I'm out here putting out blog articles, I'm putting out videos, and this is like awesome sauce. And so like they're way over here, right, having all of these problems and drama and crazy, and you're over here going like, I have all the answers to your problems, right? And somewhere in the middle is the content that you create. The content that you create is the bridge that takes them from there to you. That's what we mean by we're entering a conversation that's already happening. So if they are like searching for a very specific problem, like say maybe we're figuring out like, how do I like hire a copywriter? Maybe that's the very specific problem that they're struggling to solve. And I'm over here like I'm a copywriter and I have copywriters. Like I have a team of copywriters, and I'm like, you can pay me. And like, that's great. But, there's only a small percentage of people that are like, okay, I'm going to hire a copywriter and let's hire you. Most people are going to be like, I want to do a little bit of research first. How much do I have to pay a copywriter? What does working with a copywriter look like? How do I get the best result from a copywriter? Should I hire a copywriter or should I write the copy myself? Is hiring a copywriter really the best decision? Should I, what about these AI programs I keep hearing all this stuff about? Does that make sense? Is that good? Do I need a copywriter that knows my industry, or can I just hire anyone? How much, effort does it take to hire a copy? See what I mean? There's so many questions. And, what is happening most of the time is they are over here and they are asking all of these questions all over the place. They're asking in the networking groups that they're hanging out in. They're asking Google. They're asking everywhere. They're asking everybody everywhere. and they're getting answers. But what we really want someone to do is ask us. Right, because if they like our answers, what's going to happen is they're going to be like, ooh, I asked that question, I got a good answer, this makes me happy, now let's, get a little bit closer to a conversation, I want to talk to you. Not all of those people are going to talk to you, right? Some of those people are going to be like, no, I'm going to go over here. And that's okay, that's fine, that's totally cool, they can do that. But what we want is for the people where we're like, hey, I really like you to hire me, right? That's what we want. We want that person who's over here like, I like you too. Let's work together because we're going to do awesome things. Which, by the way, is niching, and nobody likes to niche, however you want to say it. Nobody likes to, but that's what it is. That's where we can say that, like, frumpy little, Karen or whatever over here can go her way, and that's fine because she doesn't like the way we do things. But the ones who do like the way that we do things are going to come our way. And that's the purpose of content. That's we're entering a conversation that someone's already having in their brain, and we're entering it a whole bunch of different ways. So, like, every time you put a piece of content out in the world, what is going on? What is already happening that you are not aware of? Have you ever walked into the middle of two people fighting, and you're like, what is even going on? If you're a parent, you've had your kids, and they're just fighting, and you just, like, walk into the middle of it, and you're like, what is happening right now? Like, what is going on with you two? And, you kind of have to figure it out. Then you kind of have, before you can even prescribe any kind of solution or, like, be like, hey, we're going to go put the sibling t-shirt on you or whatever, you have to understand what's going on. You're trying to figure out what's happening. Same kind of thing with content. The only slight difference is that until they've given us their information or booked a call with us, we can't ask, so we have to make some assumptions. So we have to just assume that your sister probably started it, and you're trying to look for a solution. You know what I mean? Like, again, going back to the kid example, I have two kids. I have, 17-year-old and a 19-year-old. So it's been a while since we've had these problems, but that's the first thing to pop to mind for me. Yeah, we just have to assume that, like, we don't really understand the full story, but we're going to make some assumptions going in that, like, if you're having this type of problem or you're trying to accomplish this type of thing, and you're the type of person that we normally love to work with, that we kind of know the questions you're asking. We kind of know what you want. So let's put that content out in the world. And this is applicable everywhere. This is from, like, your website pages, your videos, your emails, your podcasts, your social posts, your blog articles. The whole intent is to put out something where we're like, hey, you're trying to hire a copywriter. I know that's stressful because I've talked to a lot of other people that have tried to hire copywriters, or they've hired copywriters who are not me, or I'm a copywriter, but I have learned how to solve the problem you're having by doing X, Y, Z. And, hey, let me help you. Let me help you educate yourself. Let me help you with some DIYs, which is one thing a lot of people struggle with, right? We want to get someone to, like, opt in for something, some freebie, some giveaway, some PDF. If you're trying to hire a copywriter, that means you're struggling with, like, a copywriting process. That means maybe you're interviewing a few different people, and we could give you a, like, questionnaire that you could use for every person that you interview with our answers already filled in, of course. Like, how can you help them with this hire a copywriter problem, even if hiring a copywriter solution is not you? That's how you should approach your copy. Your person is trying to do a thing, and they might not be ready to hire you yet. So how do you create content that will help them to do something, even if that something isn't you? Because for a small percentage of the people that look at your stuff, you will be the solution. And that's the goal. So hopefully this helped. A little bit less than 10 minutes and some really interesting little doodles, but this is how my brain works, so enjoy. And feel free to contact me if you have any questions at all. There will be contact information somewhere around this video. Enjoy. Until next time. Bye.